What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and today I'm back to bring you 40 facts on the Warhammer 40k universe. Now, if you guys haven't been watching our previous videos, well, I guess it's kind of hard to know, so I'm just going to tell you. So previously, each month we've been doing 1 or 2 videos on Age of Sigmar. Now, we recently just started this, so I think there's only like 2, maybe 3 or 4 videos out. I know we've got them on the Sylvaneth as well as the Skaven, and I think we covered one of the Khorne Chaos warbands. So now it is time to get to one of the highly requested Age of Sigmar factions, and that is the Sigmarines. I mean the Stormcast Eternals, because yeah, they're not Marines at all. They kind of look like them, but they're not Marines. Couldn't be, right? Sigmar a Primarch? Pff, nah, that's malarkey. That's what that is. But anyway, guys, this has been a highly requested lore, so this is probably going to be a 2 to 3 part kind of thing on the Sigmarines, I mean the Stormcast Eternals. So first I'm going to give you the basic overview as to what they are, Astartes, and then we'll talk about their other more in-depth units. So for example, you've got like the Draconian Guard. Now those things are really awesome. Like they freaking ride dragons into battle. That's pretty cool. Salamanders. Sorry guys, I think Nurgle's kind of getting me here. But anyway guys, let's dive into this Age of Sigmar lore. So the Stormcast Eternals were once mortal heroes, plucked from countless battlefields to undergo a series of long and agonizing trials in the realm of Azir. They were reforged in both body and mind, and they came out as immortal golden warriors. Such is their physical transformation that they generally tower over mortal men, and lightning literally runs through their veins. Their armor has been reforged from the enchanted remains of the world that was. So even upon death, the Stormcast Eternals cannot escape their righteous purpose. So a Eternal that has been killed is once again born anew and sent back into the fray once again. This is really OP. Like, when I first learned about this is kind of what pushed me away, because I mean, think about it. They're kind of like Necron warriors, but like Marines. So you kill one, they're just going to keep on coming back. So like, what do you do at that point, honestly? Anyway, guys, let's continue on. So this reforging changes the warrior in strange ways. The Lord Relictors, which are heroes from the realm of Shyish, hold a mysterious power over the clutches of death that can rouse the Stormcast from death. They do ride twin-tailed Azure lightning to the mortal realms, and they can only return to Azurheim through the realm gates or by death. Only the mightiest of mankind's warriors get to be aspirants to become a Stormcast. They are indeed taken from battlefields in the midst of fighting in a blinding flash and rolling thunder, and they are transported into Sigmaron. But before they go through the trials of reforging, they have to build their strength, and they spend 3 days and 3 nights in the endless feast of Heidenhall, which doesn't sound so bad. Afterwards, they are taken into the Chamber of the Broken World, and they're blasted apart by lightning, and then reforged anew in the Forge Eternal. This agonizing process can last for a few heartbeats, or many centuries, which is a freaking huge ass span of time. Anyway, most of them, they don't survive it, but then they must suffer again 7 times, and 7 times again, so that's like what, 49 times during the Canes of Tampering, when their bodies and souls are mixed in with the gifts of God. Honestly, I don't even know what I'm reading right now. Like, this is some crazy shit. Like, okay, so this just shows you how, I'm not gonna say bad, how interesting the lore is for the Sigmarines. So it's like, hey, you who's currently fighting out in the battlefield, let me take you out from this battle, which could literally prevent, you know, I'm preventing you from, you know, saving your people or whatever. But it's okay, because I'm going to blow you apart and then reconstruct you for who knows how long. A few seconds, years, millennia. And then I'm going to put you together and do this like 7 times. And then, nah, you know what, I'll do this 7 more times. You know what? Make it 49. Like, where do they get these numbers from? What is going on here? Anyway, if they survive this process, then they can receive the last blessing, which is when they are imbued by the World Hammer and they are awoken into this Sigmarine, which you're now empowered by Sigmar's very own power. I don't know, I feel like this is a bit much, but who am I to judge, right? It's cool. They look cool, so we'll go with that. So like I've said before, the Stormcast Eternal has been gifted with superhuman speed, strength, and endurance, and they have been furnished for battle with armaments made of triple blessed Sigmarite, forged by the 6 smiths themselves. Yet, if this is not enough, within hours of his successful reforging, a Stormcast Eternal is then subjugated to tasks and training beyond the abilities of mere mortals. Such exercises are relentless, designed to hone their enhanced abilities to pre-natural levels. Only when their personal martial prowess has been perfected are Stormcast Eternals allowed to train alongside their brethren. At a spoken word, the warriors pivot in unison, form interlocking shield walls, or advance to lend their support, and the might of their celestial energies, where they are most needed by their brothers, is put to the test. The Stormcast way of war goes far beyond mere battlefield maneuvers, as there are various support units that empower each other to produce a tight-knit battle formation that moves and fights like no other army in the mortal realms. So yeah, these guys are really great at working together, and that's because they're legendary fighters. They were already great fighters to begin with. They've been reforged into this awesome, powerful warrior, and even then, they still are trained to the max, so much so that they think almost in unison, they fight in unison, they are pretty much unmatched on the battlefield. And that pretty much sums up the basis or the overview of the Stormcast Eternals. So now for the rest of this video, we're going to be talking about more in depth into their units. And they have quite a lot, so like I said, this will probably be a 2 to 3 video spanning the whole units for the Stormcast Eternals. So let's dive in with the first one, which looks pretty freaking awesome in my opinion, the Celestant Prime. Just a little information, before I dove into collecting my Celestial Sons, I was really close to buying Stormcast Eternals and using them as my 40k army because they just look so awesome. I mean, just look at this guy. It's beautiful, honestly. Like, yeah, I'll make fun of the lore a little bit, but there's no denying this guy is amazing. So yeah, so let's dive into the Celestant Prime. So the Celestant Prime is nothing less than the Storm of Sigmar itself. Those who meet the Celestant Prime in battle faced firsthand the full brunt of the God King's wrath, for he is indeed the avenging angel of Azir, the bearer of the World Hammer, and the first scion of Sigmar. He was the most heroic of mankind's champions, a great king and guardian of men from an age rapidly growing darker. When he was chosen as the first by Sigmar, the God King poured into him a prodigious portion of his divine might. Yet this process was not fully concluded. The greatest of his aspirants remained in stasis in the storm-racked dome of the Forbidden Vault. Without Sigmar's hammer, the Galmaraz, the first Stormcast was indeed incomplete. When the Stormcast Eternals at last reunited Sigmar with the Galmaraz, the Celestant Prime arose, shimmering and resplandescent. In that moment, thunder rolled across the realms, its intensity shaking skulls from the foundation of the brass throne. In the most brilliant of bolts, the first of the Stormcast Eternals joined Sigmar's armies on blazing wings, his gleaming armor flickering with chains of lightning, always appearing to match that of the storm host that he was fighting alongside. With each arcing hammer swing, the Celestant Prime smote the wicked, and its bludgeoning force swept away ranks of oncoming foes, thousands at a time. Full of the energies of celestial realm, the Celestant Prime's hammer can blow away a greater demon with a single thunder-cracking impact, breaking its body and banishing it to the warp forever. Yet such is the power of the Celestant Prime, that there is yet more than sheer destruction within those mighty concussions. If there is the slightest kernel of uncorrupted soul left smitten, then the blow frees that spirit even as it crushes away the tainted form. Those who are redeemable are purified. Spirit loosed in such a manner are not dragged into the realm of chaos, nor do they dissolve into the underworlds ruled by Nagash. Instead, these spirits wing their way to Azir, there to be presented before the almighty Sigmar. Their final judgment is his, and his alone, for a place in his armies awaits the few who are found worthy. The Celestine's prime war gear consists of none other than the hammer of Sigmar itself, the Galmaraz, and on his other hand he usually carries a Comet Strike scepter. And if you don't know how special or important the Galmaraz is, here's a little info behind it. So, the Galmaraz, aka the Skull Splitter, comes from the mythic ages that predate the awakening of the realms. It is a great weapon indeed, and it trails a twin-tailed comet when swung with sufficient force. Grungi himself mined the star metal of which Galmaraz was forged, and it was struck with runes of justice. This hammer is the bane to chaos, and only the most powerful dark gods can bear to look upon its radius nimbus. As the legends say, Sigmar first used his hammer to raise mankind from their barbaric squalor, wielding its might to unite the kingdoms. Foes of Untold have fallen beneath its mauling blows, and while wielding the Galmaraz, Sigmar has never been bested in combat. Yet during the Battle of the Burning Skies, illusionary magics and others tricked Sigmar into hurling Galmaraz into the void, where it was lost for many centuries. However, now at last, the Warhammer has been returned to Sigmar, who in turn has passed it on to his greatest champion, the Celestine Prime. And with that being said, the first part to the awesome Stormcast Eternals has been concluded. Let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments below. Yeah, like I said before, the lore is it's a little wonky in my opinion. Like, I feel like they're way overpowered. Like, do they really honestly need to go through all these processes and whatnot? I mean, it's Age of Sigmar, so I guess they do, but there's no denying these models look amazing. The artwork for Age of Sigmar, not even for the Eternals, like, yeah, the Eternals are awesome, but just the artwork in general for all of Age of Sigmar just looks stunning. It really makes me want to play, but I know that I don't have the skills to paint like this, but damn, it looks good. But anyway, guys, again, let me know what you guys think about these Stormcast Eternals. If you guys play Age of Sigmar, let me know how exactly this, like, is the narrative for the creation really overpowered, really I guess really fantasized. Like, I can't wrap my head around it. I feel like it's you're doing too much. Like, they die and they get reborn, and they're made out of like lightning and all this stuff. Like, is that how like over the top everything else is? Again, if you guys play fantasy, if you know the lore, or not fantasy, Age of Sigmar, if you know the lore, let me know. Maybe you guys can kind of ground it into more understanding ways for me in the comments, and yeah, we'll go from there. Again, guys, this was a highly requested lore for Age of Sigmar, so if you guys want anything else covered, let me know in the comments below and we'll go from there. Don't forget to subscribe, because we got more videos coming. Like I said, this is part 1 of maybe 2 or 3 of the Stormcast Eternal videos, so stay subscribed for that. And that's all I've got, guys. This has been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.